guys, welcome to my channel. In previous video I show you demo about connecting ASP.NET Core API with SQL Server and performing CRUD operation like adding, updating, deleting student, then getting student by student ID and getting all the student detail. In this video I am going to show you demo about like registering user using identity user and assigning some role to particular user. So that I am going to show you in this video. So let's go through it. Okay, so for using identity user, so you need to inherit identity DB context in your database existing database context. So here in student database context I am just going to use identity DB context, and in that here you can pass identity user class. So this identity user class has some common property that like when the table is going to create it, then that users table going to have this much property like username, email, normalized email and so on. This all property is going to have that users table. But like if you want to add some other property in table, then you can create a one class that going to inherit this identity user class. So let's create one model that going to inherit this identity user class. So here I am just going to create users class, and this class going to have some property. So I'm just going to copy from here. So email is already exists in identity user class, so that I am not going to use. So here I am just going to use first name, last name, gender and address, and here you can inherit identity user. So now this class going to have first name, last name, gender and address and other property that exist in this identity user class. Okay, now in a database context, instead of using identity user, just use this users class. Now the second step is add this user identity in program.cs. So here you can add identity like this, builder.services.add identity, and in that you can pass first is the identity user and the role. So here identity users will be the class that we have created, users class, and role will be the identity role. And after that, for connecting this with database context, for that I am just going to pass this student DB context here in add entity framework stores. Okay, now let me run that migration command to add existing table like this users table in database. So with that it's going to create some other table also. So if you see here some table exists like DB set, user roles, role claim. So these all the tables that exist in identity DB context are going to create it. So let me execute migration command. So here okay, so in a migration file, now if you see here ASP.NET roles, then ASP.NET user, ASP.NET role claims and ASP.NET user claims. So this all table are going to create it. Now let me update database. So right now here in student DB there was only one table, students tables. So when I run the update database, then it's going to have all this table. Okay, so now this all the table are created ASP.NET users, and in this users table column, like we have added some extra column like first name, last name, and gender and address. So this all property plus existing property that exists in identity user table, identity user class, that is available in this table ASP.NET users. Now let's create a users controller, and in that I am just going to write a API for registering user. So here in a controller I am just going to add new controller, so here I am going to use user manager service to perform like registering users operation and some other like finding user by email and other stuff. So here I'm just going to use method register user, and here let me create one model that I am going to pass in register user API. So here in this class I am just going to pass like so whatever the value I want to insert, that I just going to pass here. Okay, now this register user class I am going to access here. So here in a like if let me show you. So this user manager dot create async is access this create async method accepting class object as a type of user. So here I need to convert this register user DTO in form of this user class. So for that I am just let me fill all the information here from register DTO. Okay, now this object I am going to pass here in create async method. And like here in create async method there are two methods, like one is a create async method that only accepting user object without password, and another one is create async with password. So here I am passing password also in register user DTO. So here let me add register user DTO dot password. So this password is going to create an encrypted format in this ASP.NET users table. Okay, so while creating this, if any error occur, then it's going to return in bed request format. Okay, now let me run API and let's see like register user API is working or not. So in this table right now there is like no record exists. Now here in users controller, let me add some user. Okay, so when I inserted normal password here only test, then it's going to throw error like password too short, password required, non-alphabetic, numeric. So all the error related to password here it's throwing. So let me add some unique password. Okay, now it's showing me like user created successfully. So let's see in users table. So now the users is created, first name, last name, gender, and all the information is available in this table, and password also stored in encrypted format. Okay, now let's create another method for deleting user. So for that I'm just going to copy this one, and here so let me add a model here for deleting user. And in that I am just going to pass email. So using email I am just going to find user, and based on that I am just going to delete record from the user table. So here I am just going to use user manager dot find by email, and in that I will pass email address. And if the any user available with this email, then I'm just going to call delete async method, and in that I'm just going to pass existing user. So if the response is succeed, then I'm just going to return user deleted. Otherwise, whatever the error occur in that, I'm just going to return. And if there is no user found with particular email, then I'm just going to return here. Okay, now let me run API. So here in database we have user with this email address. So first let me try to delete using some wrong email. So no user found with this email, it's throwing error there. Now let me pass correct email. So here it's now showing user deleted, and let's see in database. So in database also the user is deleted. Okay, now let's create an API for creating the role. So for that like a user manager service, I am just going to use role manager, and here identity role I am just going to use okay. Now let's create API for creating a role. So here like role manager dot create a thing, and in this you can pass identity role, and that identity role, in that you can pass role name. So for that let me create another model for create role. Okay, so here I am just going to pass role name. Okay, now let me run the app and let's see. So here in ASP.NET role, so right now there is a no role. So there are two tables, one is ASP.NET roles. So in that table whatever the role I create, that going to available here, and whatever the role I am assigning to particular users, that going to be in ASP.NET user roles table. So here let me create one role, admin. Okay, so now it's showing me as a new role created, and in this table also one entry is available. If I again create with same role like admin and I execute this API, then it's going to throw error like role name admin is already taken. Now let me create some other role like a teacher. So here now it's showing me role created, and this is available in this table. Okay, now let's create another method, another API for assigning role to particular user. So for that so let me create another model. In that I will pass email ID and the role that I am just going to assign to user. Okay, so here email ID I will use for finding user. So let's first fetch user details, user manager dot find by email async, and user here I will pass email address. Okay, if there is no email user found with a particular email, then it's going to throw this error. And if any user found, then let's assign role to particular user. So here I can use add to role async method. In that I need to pass user detail and that role. So if the role assigned successfully, then I am just going to return and is there any error occur, then I am just going to return errors from this response. So let me run the app and let's see that assigning role to user is working or not. So here first let me see user detail. Okay, right now there is no user exist, so let me create here user. Okay, user is created. Now let's assign particular role to this user. So here let me assign the role that not exist. So student role I am just going to assign to this user. So here it's throwing exception, role student does not exist. Now let me assign role that already exists in role table. So now it's showing me successful message like role assigned to user, and the what like admin role is assigned to this particular user. Now let me again try to assign same role to this user, then it's going to show me message like user already in role admin. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you like this video and thank you so much for watching.